Hello, this is Giselle Gamby from the Intuitive Pull podcast. We are now in season 5 as we are on the home run for 2024. The next episodes will be daily episodes until the 31st of December 2024, all dedicated to you coming to full and complete resolution around the places within you and the places in your life that are unresolved. Hello, Intuitive Pull community. I am recording on my way home from a run. I actually wanted to record at the beach, but it was way too windy. So yes, on my run this morning, I was inspired to speak to you whilst we're on this journey to see and face into what is unresolved, and my commitment to supporting you to be free, in that I'm recording an episode every day and podcasting until the 31st of December 2024. Just a logistical thing before I head into this episode. The podcast is now back on Spotify. Unfortunately, it's not on the old Intuitive Pull Spotify channel. There are complexities that are not worth speaking about. So that old Spotify channel has episodes until April 2024, when I moved over to video. Now I had to create a new channel. It's called the Intuitive Pull Podcast for Spotify. It will not have all the previous episodes. It's only the episodes since episode 1 of speaking to you around this theme of unresolved. So please go and follow that if you're a Spotify person, and please give it a rating. Please give it some love, some testimonials, because it's very bare. It's like a brand new baby, but it's actually not a brand new baby. All right, so the reason why I wanted to speak to you today is this. When we stay in the dynamic of being unresolved, we're committed to staying in that dynamic of being unresolved, even if we think that we are moving the furniture around. What we're actually choosing is that we don't want to know. That's actually the choice. At the most fundamental, raw, basic level, we actually don't want to know. And because if we knew, then we'd have to make a decision. And that decision is confronting. And I'll just say this, it might not be the decision that your ego is expecting. Or it may, who knows. But it might not be. So whilst we have this underlying conversation sitting there, whispering, if only you did decide to know, then you would have to make a decision that's confronting, and then we put the brakes on and we go about resolving in the way that we have been going about that. Again, whether that's to do with money, whether that's to do with our health, whether that's to do with our business and our careers, whether that's to do with our relationships, whether that's to do with our well-being. Just have a think about it for yourself. What are you doing? Where do you not have freedom? And what are you doing that you think is going to give you the resolution you're seeking, but in fact it's not? And therefore you're not changing your identity at a fundamental level, which is what I spoke about on this podcast, because you actually haven't gone to the first step. And the first step is humility. When you can no longer hold on, there's actually nothing anymore to hold on to. There's nothing more to hold on to. I received a beautiful post this morning, actually it was yesterday, that I was tagged in from a former client called Sarah. Feel free to go and have a look at that post on Facebook if you wish. And Sarah was giving her gratitude to the fact that her A-type personality, where the way that she would go and resolve her feelings of being uncomfortable and out of control and wanting everything to have its place and everybody to be happy and for there to be harmony in the family, is that she would go and control things, which of course did not give her the solution that she was seeking. And the post was talking about, since she made the decision from a place of humility, not that she talked about humility in the post, and surrendered and turned up with me for 3 months, well, she's actually empowering the other people as a result, because she has let go of control, and they actually have a much better chance and are having a much better chance at life and are doing much better in life because of that. So that's the first thing I wanted to say on this podcast. But actually the reason why I really wanted to get on today and record whilst I was running was because I wanted just to share this, that it's Sunday morning and I woke up this morning and I felt so good. You know, I said on previous episodes that since I've come to completion around a couple of things in my life, that I haven't felt this good in a long time. That's actually not true. I actually have never felt this good. It's not haven't felt good in a long time. I actually have never felt this good. And when I was sitting in bed this morning and I was just having a moment of presence, I actually had some tears come, because I really have never felt so good and so much full of energy. And therefore coming to know a new version of Giselle that I've not known before. And in this new version of Giselle, she has just so much energy, and she is committing to things that she would never have committed to. And she has a level of presence that I have not experienced before, and a level of seeing that I've not experienced before. And lucky clients, because they're getting the they're getting that. And I've even heard from them that they can feel the difference in me. And also my family are getting this version of me. And more importantly, I'm getting this version of me. So whilst we are not wanting to know, because we think that if we did know that the decision would be confronting, and we don't want to make that confronting decision, but really we don't even know what that decision is until we actually go to that place of humility and surrender, and then go through the process of feeling all the feelings to get to a decision. What we're actually doing is whilst we're holding on, what we're actually doing is, it's like we've put a pen around us. That's what the vision that I had this morning when I was running. We put a pen around us, a pen around our identity, like a boundary, a fence. We fence our identity in, and in that fenced in identity, we just turn up more of the version of ourselves that we've known, and we don't have the opportunity to experience ourselves beyond who we have known, because we've penned ourselves in, we've fenced ourselves in. And that's what I had emotion around this morning. The emotion that the fence and the boundaries and the borders and the limitation is no longer here. And because of that, I am discovering a new version of me. Now, the thing is that this is what I do with my clients all the time. And I mentioned in a previous episode that I had an extra session on Friday that I was not expecting to have, that was simply supposed to be for 15 minutes to talk about a revelation that she had. And yet we sat there for an hour and a half on Zoom, and we were crying, like in absolute tears of gratitude for the incredible transition that she's had since December last year when we started. Like if I could describe the version of her that had been fenced in because she had not wanted to face into herself and not wanted to know. Actually, she didn't even know that she didn't want to know. She just assumed that that version of reality was that version of reality, and there was nothing else beyond that. That's actually the truth. And when I confronted her about that, and I said, you know, a lack of joy in the corporate world, trauma in the corporate world, these highly dysfunctional dynamics and relationships in the corporate world, that is not normal. Yet to her it had been normalized, so she knew nothing beyond that. So the moment that I confronted her about that, and the moment that she had this sense that, even before knowing that, she had this sense that there was something beyond. the work that we've done this year has resulted in there are no fences. There are no boundaries. The universe that she's living now, compared to the universe that she was living a year ago, we're talking completely, like if there was a universe beyond this universe, that's what we're talking about. And the tears that we both had were because we were recognizing the universe that she now lives in, where the home runs she's made in the last few weeks in terms of very big and important and impactful business opportunities she has. Every single piece within those business opportunities is 100% immaculate. There is not even 1% misalignment in the relationship, in the conversation, in the offering, in the remuneration, in the mission that they feel connected to collaborating on. There's not 1% resistance in the client once she and her people have presented what they've presented. The response that she is getting is, that sounds amazing. How do we make this happen? Now, the truth is, that is unheard of. That is unheard of. When we're talking about how people live, generally speaking, that is unheard of. But it is the norm in a paradigm where complete resolution has happened, which therefore creates us being in energetic alignment with ourselves, with our authenticity, and with our leadership at the highest level. It creates alignment at the level of mission. We know what we're here to be in service to. It creates alignment at the level of the visions that then come and support that mission. And it creates alignment at the practical level. And then not only that, not only do we see that all of our fears and all of our misalignments and all of that unresolved dynamics and relationships and repetitive cycles that we then went to experience because of that, we then get to see that all of that had to happen anyway. It was never wrong. That all of that was in service to experiencing, like this person that I'm talking about, all of that had to happen. She could not live in the universe that she's living in where everything is 100% immaculate. She could not be living that had she not lived the universe that she thought was normal, but it was completely messed up, including the level of unhappiness and unease and trauma she was experiencing within her body. And I'll finish this episode with this, and I'm going to I'll record another episode in more detail about this. But what also happens, not only are we in energetic alignment with ourselves, we are in alignment with our mission, in alignment with our vision, we're in alignment from a practical point of view, but we also, and this just brings me to tears. We embrace a level of faith in our leadership that we've not experienced before. We experience a level of faith that allows us to lean into our humanity, which is the whole purpose of these episodes until the 31st of December, which allows us to lean into our humanity, but then also lean back and surrender. And in addition to that, we also get to embrace the fire within our leadership. And if I did not have fire within my leadership, I would never have had the moment of beautiful madness that I did on Friday that would say, go and record a podcast episode every day until the 31st of December, when you're the one that actually records it and produces it, at least for the time being. So, all to say that, why wouldn't you have the bravery to finally let go and stop holding on? Why wouldn't you have the courage to go to that place of humility, that first port of call, and surrender, when this is what's on the other side of that? Until next time, remember there is a masterclass on, and I can't remember the date because I've got my phone in my hand, but it will be in the show notes. It's next Sunday. I think it's the 24th. Please forgive me if I've got the wrong date. The 24th of November, Sunday at 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Sydney time, and then again on Monday, the following Monday, the next day. I think it's the 25th. Please go and check the show notes, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Sydney time. It will not be on replay. You have to attend live one of those events. It's 99 Aussie dollars. You can register and pay in the show notes. And also remember that, you know, if you've reached that point of, okay, I've got the courage, finally, I'm finally ready to go to that place of humility. I'm finally ready to stop holding on. I'm finally ready to stop pretending that what I'm doing is actually giving me what I want. And I'm ready to know. I'm ready to know. Remember, I have found a way that we can work together. Considering that we are now in November and December and January are upon us, and we have holidays, so I have found a way that we can incorporate all of that and really get to the bottom of what has been unresolved within you, so that you can have the freedom to start this journey of alignment. So you know what to do. Just reach out and we can have a conversation. Until the next time. Ciao, ciao.